ChristianWav. If you know, you know. Check. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BandLab Plus Coffee. That's right, it's time to wake up, wind up, and queue up with another excellent track. Today, we've got Glass Castles featuring ChristianWav. So, without further ado, to the lab!
Let the music unlock your heart. It's time to collaborate. You're part of the family.
It's time to wake up, wind up, and queue up with another excellent BandLab track. Over here on the lab, we've got Glass Castles by Str8xEdge. That's at REAL_STR8XEDGE at real_StraihtEdge. Reppin' 1.72 thousand followers. This one is a collaboration with the band XO Forever. It's got 38 members and 1.62 thousand plays so far, including 153 likes, which I'm sure we'll include one of our own shortly. This does feature ChristianWav, who is at ChristianWav. ChristianWav. If you know, you know. Let's take a listen. Nice. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, let's just start with a filter. Where are my lyrics at, Str8xEdge? It's all we have, and it's all rehab until addiction takes its place. That's powerful. Yes, I'm liking the vocal echo and this little reprieve we get with that filtered vocal. But we've got this real sustained clap throughout.
Everybody love it when I fall, they undermine it. Searching for myself, but I can't find where my mind is.
Searching for myself, but I can't find where my mind is. Whoa, nice.
I believe what I say at all. When I'm under 6 feet from 10 feet tall. It was all I needed, I don't need it at all. Insecure, I'm just
love me a good vocal stutter.
there's blood all on my floor. With no reason to say. Don't ask how I'm insecure. I'm just a jump away. There's blood all on my floor. With no reason to say. Don't ask how I'm
Yes. Good job with that record slowdown. Good bass, but not overpowering as far as the kick goes, or the bass goes, rather. And a good fade out. That's really great. Str8xEdge, nice. Tell me, are you verse 1? I'm assuming you are, since ChristianWav is the feat. But I'm a big fan of a lot of the stuff going on in this track. Big fan of how we can do hip-hop music with no explicit content. I mean, come on. A few of the greatest things about this track are we've got a lot of dynamics in here. Not only do we have the normal stuff, and when I say normal, I mean we need to normalize it because it's the expectation, right? We have the filtered vocals in the reprieve. We come back to those throughout, which make it nice and comfortable for us. We start with them, so it's a good bookend. So we have the things like that that give us some dynamics. We come over here and we see the waveform drop out, which gives us this. Where we get a reprieve from that bass. We come over here, we get vocal stutters. Those vocal stutters are another way to dynamically transition from one part of the song to the other. Excellent, excellent work. So, now that I've ruined it, let's jump into two things I love and one thing I want more of. The first thing I love is all of the dynamic transitions in here. That's right, you guessed it. We've got the filtered vocals that I mentioned before that bring us into this hard-hitting percussion. Then we drop the percussion to give us a little bit of difference. Bring it back. Drop it back out to the filtered vocals. Bring us into ChristianWav's feet. And I don't know if you caught it or not, but there was a very brief, sounds like reverse swell. We're going to get vocal stutters and chops. That's going to lead us into that next part as well. We go from a verse to a hook to a reprieve to a verse to a hook very well. And it continues to ebb and flow based on this concept. That's the first thing I love. It's so dynamic, which makes it a ton of fun to listen to. And when you vibe, right? We got to like that. And when you vibe, and I vibe. The second thing I love is these two verses. I need lyrics. I truly do. One thing we forget as vocalists is that we've sung this 100 times, or we've heard this in our head 100 times, or we've listened to this track 1,000,000 times. We wrote the vocals. We know what's going on. And even though it sounds like, well, duh, that's what the vocals are. It's not that apparent to everyone else. It's just not. I've written some of the most basic pop songs, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is easy. And then I get people listening going, oh, what'd you say there? And I'm like, oh, I get it now. You haven't heard this 100 times like I have. And you didn't write it. So why would you know? Why would you be in my head and feel the way I feel? So lyrics are really important. But I love these verses. This is giving me like if Chester was part of this auto-tune hip-hop vibe. Chester from Linkin Park, rest in peace, man. But this is all of those soft parts. I would say like Chester mixed a little bit with Brendan Urie from the original Panic at the Disco album. Oh, well, imagine. But then we come over here to ChristianWav and we get a very different sound within the same scope and universe, so it fits. There's cohesion there. Let's take a listen to that. Sucker for chops. I'm pretty sure we're talking about being dead, right? Going under 6 feet from 10 feet tall. It makes me feel like there's a mountaintop experience and a valley experience happening here. Like one moment I'm on top of the world and one moment I might as well be dead because I'm depressed and no one is validating me. And that can be a really tough place to be in. We seek validation. It's a natural part of how we do life. Not always the best way to do life, but definitely a natural desire to be loved and to be sought after and to be validated, whether it's through our art, through our experiences, or through what we believe is our wisdom. One of the greatest things I have ever been taught is let your opinions be $100 opinions. Don't make them penny opinions. So as someone who feels like I have a lot of knowledge to impart, oftentimes I've had to learn that unless someone asks for my knowledge, it doesn't matter how great the knowledge is. So unless someone seeks it out or unless someone asks, it doesn't matter how good the knowledge is because they didn't ask for it. So maybe they feel like they understand it better. Maybe they want a perspective that's not mine, which is totally okay. Life experiences are different. But if you continue to seek out people and give them unsolicited knowledge, your opinion becomes worth less and less. You're going to give it and people are going to ignore it. However, should you choose to never give your opinion and wait for people to ask your opinion, and typically they will ask when they see you doing things that align with what they want. People want what they, people work towards what they want, what they see in other people, right? Those are the people they reach out to. You have what I want, so I'll ask you for your advice. And when they ask you for your advice, suddenly it becomes worth so much more valuable. It wasn't unsolicited. It was directly solicited. They came to you and said, you have this wisdom. I want it. What is it? And at that point, they're much more likely to take it and run with it. All of that to say that I completely understand this feeling of validation, these mountaintop and these valley experiences.
I fall, but how could I believe what I say at all? When I'm under 6 feet from 10 feet tall, it was all I needed, I don't need it at all. Insecure, I'm just a jump away.
Insecure, I'm just a jump away. These themes are prevalent throughout this song. It's rough. Life is rough and tough. And I would just say, if there's one thing that has made my life much easier as someone who thinks they have a lot to offer, it's don't give unsolicited opinions. For instance, in BandLab Plus Coffee, you come look for the YouTube video, or you click on the YouTube video if you want to. I don't come to you in your comments and say, this is what you should have done, or this is what's good about you or your track. No, I say, hey, I did this. If you want to know, check it out and click on it. So it's solicited opinions and advice. You choose whether or not you want to pursue it. And dadgummit, have y'all been super receptive, and I love it and I appreciate it and I thank you. So that is the second thing I like, is these two verses that are different but in the same universe and cohesive, and the content that they offer. Just give me my lyrics. If there's one thing I want more of in this track, I want something to cool off a bit more in this section right here where we drop out the
I've been trying to.
This was a really great reprieve. It gives us a break from the percussion. I just want it to go even further. We call it uncomfortable subtraction. I almost want to hear it go, even though there's a filter, I almost want to hear that filter sweep through and maybe get a wah on there. Right? So if you do a little bit more with that vocal, make it a little bit softer, take off a little bit of the hard edges on some of that EQ, make it a little bit more smooth, you really create this thing that's in opposition to the track, but it's still within the same universe. It really gives our ears something new to do. If we sway and filter the vocal as it goes through this transition, and we move it, maybe pan it from left to right, and add those vocal chops that are really working for us in a couple of places as part of that transition, transition into ChristianWav's verse, I think we would have a much bigger punch in the face that would give us just that much more energy for the track. I think this is awesome. I think this track stands on its own. It does its thing. That's just what I would want to see to take that portion of the track to the next level. So everyone needs to jump on over to BandLab and follow real_Str8xEdge, as well as at ChristianWav, and wave like the wave file, WAV. And then, while you're over there, go ahead and follow DJTatious on BandLab, YouTube, or wherever you choose to consume your social media. Thanks again for waking up, winding up, and queuing up with me. And until next time, we'll see ya.